get this clean for y'all. Sit that down. And I'll get this one clean as well. Let's open it up. Get it all clean. There we go. All right, so I'm Average Tech Guy. And of course, I could not wait until we could actually talk about these two devices. Yeah, these devices are, let me get this one unlocked. Yeah, these devices are probably the most talked about things on any internet space right about now. The comparison, especially between techies. Now, everybody doesn't care about these devices, but this one right here is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. And this one over here is the brand new Pixel Fold. And believe you me, I got some thoughts about this bad boy right here. So let's talk. All right, so first thing first, this is not a review of this device. And this is basically me telling you about the differences and which one of these I would pick in a dogfight any day. Now, keep in mind the 5th version of this device, the Z Fold 4, so 5 will be coming out like in another week or so. Just keep that in mind. And it's gonna have a slightly different form factor from what we're hearing. It still has the S Pen and all that good stuff. So with that in mind, we're going to take this whole instance with a grain of salt. But I do wanna just give you a couple of my gripes first with this device. So this is the latest flagship from Google, the Google Pixel Fold. First generation of this device, Google's first attempt. But I will say that Google has had about 5 generations to actually work on this, because Samsung has had foldables for the past 5 years or so now. Now, keeping that in mind, Google went with this form factor, which I love the screen on the front. It's nice, it's wide, it's vivid. You actually feel like you can do things on this screen. With that being said, when you open it, you kind of get a different feel. Now, one of the biggest things that I noticed right off bat, when I open up the Z Fold 4, it pretty much is straight. Pretty much opens flat all the way. The Google Pixel Fold opens at a slight angle. Like, it doesn't open all, like you can kind of force it all the way flat, but the natural curvature is always there when you open it. So it's I kind of find myself holding it with 2 hands more so than this one. This one over here, I hold with 1 hand a lot. Like that's the way I hold it. But this one, I find myself holding it every time with 2 hands, just like so. That's my first gripe. It doesn't open up all the way. My second gripe is with Samsung, you can actually customize this whole thing, like your inside screen as well as your outside screen. So if I close this up and I want to open up my screen, unlocked by smart lock, there we go. My outer screen looks totally different from my inner screen. With Google, that's not the case. Whatever you do in here basically transfers out to here. So I'll just show you. That's what it looks like. If I take this app and I move it up, let's see, let's take it and move it up here. And I'm gonna take this app and I'm gonna move it right over here. And then I'm gonna open it up. And those apps have moved around in here. So it's kind of hard to match up some of your wallpapers, match up some of your widgets, because if I take a widget and I put it and I throw it here, well, when I close this and then I decide to open it back up, it puts it like right dead and I don't like it there. So that's another issue that I have with this device. Now, last issue that I'm going to really discuss for right now is going to be with the call quality. When you're using this one, most of the time, if you're going to have this open, you're going to be talking on speakerphone. You're not going to have this whole thing up to your head. Speakerphone on this device sucks. Every time I call somebody and I have it on speakerphone, they tell me they cannot hear me. I sound muffled. So speakerphone on here is trash. I'll go ahead and say that. And maybe it's just my unit. If anybody else has had any issues with their speakerphone, leave a comment down below. We'll talk about it a little later on. I still have a full review coming on this, but just keep in mind that when I'm using this, speakerphone on here is garbage. Everything else is just really cosmetic. When I'm talking about screen over here, if I pull down my notification, it feels like one full screen. Over here, if I pull down my notifications, I feel like I have two separate devices that I'm working on, and that I don't like either. But once again, that's just little cosmetic things. And this is something that I've become accustomed to by using a Samsung Fold for the past 4 years versus this new iteration of a folding device in the Pixel Fold. Now, once again, these are just little gripes that I have. Once again, I've been using Samsung devices, Samsung foldables, since they came out. Well, actually, since the second generation. One thing that Google does better than Samsung as of right now is that gap. Like, you can see straight through there to the table. But on this one, when you fold it, it folds shut. And I love that feature. I love that function. The thing that I do like about both of these devices, the hinges, they're like, that's nice. I love that hinge action, but I love the hinge action over here as well. And I like the fact that when I clap this together, it claps. Like, and when I close it, I'm normally closing it just like that, laying it down. The other thing is fingerprints. I'm gonna wipe it down just a little bit. All right, so other big difference, and a lot of people really asked this question a lot, was the actual button placement. Now with Samsung, I feel that the button placement is just right because your finger kind of lays right here and your volume is right here. Finger lays right here, volume right here. Not so much on the Google Pixel. Finger is kind of awkward, so you got to readjust your hand a lot. And I'm wishing that fingerprint scanner was more so down here, volume rocker was up here, because the natural inclination when you pick this phone up is to hold right here, and that is your volume rockers, up and down, up and down. And you got to just go up a little bit to get to that fingerprint scanner. Once again, cosmetic things, but I find that Samsung has done this a little bit better just because of the placement. I like the placement. That's me. The last thing that I really want to delve into is camera. So Google's camera system is, okay, so this is the thing. Taking still shots, I'm gonna pick this all day long, the Fold. Taking video, I'm gonna pick this all day, the Fold, just because Samsung doesn't put its best foot forward when it comes to the foldable camera. They put their best foot forward when it comes to the S23 camera, which I'm actually recording on right now. But for the most part, I would love to take photos as well as videos, and I've been taking photos and video with this device. I've had no issues with it. And the selfie camera. Okay, so if you open up your regular camera and you press this icon down here, it's going to tell you to unfold your phone. If you unfold your phone at this point, your back camera becomes your selfie camera, and you now have this whole display where you can actually get whatever in there that you want. You can even change over the video, you can zoom, you can wide, you can do everything that you can do with it, like holding it the other way. So I find that really convenient, and Samsung's doesn't have that feature quite yet. I'm pretty sure that we will do that on this next generation, the 5. For the most part, this has just been a little comparison between these two. The form factor over here on the Google is a lot better. It's easier to hold in the hand. It's easier to grip. Button placement, I don't like. Screen quality is really great on both of them. The crease that everybody talks about is going to be there. So you're going to have a crease. You got a folding device, you're going to have a crease. The ease of use for both of them, pretty much you open them up. Customization is better on my Samsung. There are some other little nuances that the Fold can't do that the Samsung can do, that like changing your always on display, things like that. But those are, once again, little cosmetics, and everybody's not gonna adhere to that. Everybody's not gonna need all of those things. So you'll hear more about this in the full review. I got that coming shortly. I just wanted to bring you guys a little taste of a comparison between these two. Both great devices. Both are going to be for two different types of people. Samsung people are going to really enjoy this one. Samsung people may have a hard time adjusting to this one just because of some of the features and functionality of this one. This one doesn't unfold all the way flat like it should, or like we expected it to. It's always just a little bent, but for the most part, it's a solid device. But is it worth the price tag? We'll talk about that in the upcoming full review, and we'll do a little bit more comparison in a little bit more roundabout way. But until next time, hopefully this has been able to help someone out. Average Tech Guy out. Peace.